this formal, ice-breaking way that can be both nerve-wracking and liberating at the same time. Congratulations, Alex. We're now going to hear from Julie Stevenson. She's going to read the objectives and explain to us a little bit about what Peter Ash hopes to deliver. Julie?
Yes, thank you. So Peter Ash will be doing a speech out of the manual. It will be 6 to 8 minutes. The title is Beauty, and his goal is to engage the audience's emotions and to teach a life lesson. He's planning to present without notes, and his personal goal is to deal with his own nervousness and keep his speech fluid.
Thank you, Julie, and welcome, Peter.
My name is Rachel Naomi Raymond. I used to be an oncology surgeon until I found that my true calling was helping people who are suffering from the effects of cancer in a psychological way. This includes patients, their families, and the doctors who treat them. One day, a woman walked into my office. She was in her early 30s, a beautiful woman, dressed in an expensive red business suit. She walked with an extremely upright posture. She seemed so regal that you can imagine how I felt when as soon as she sat down, she began to cry. Turns out her name was Ramona. She had been diagnosed with breast cancer 3 years earlier. She had a mastectomy, and the operation was apparently a success. Now, Ramona had always been very proud of her body. She had worked out strenuously and regularly. The thought of having a mastectomy was so demoralizing to her that she didn't tell anyone about it, not even her mother. Instead, she told people that she was taking some time off for an extended vacation in Europe. Men had always been an important part of Ramona's life. In fact, at the time of her diagnosis, she had 2 lovers. She went to each of them and broke off their relationships, giving some bogus excuse. So instead, she had thrown herself into her work, and she was the CEO now of a successful company. I asked her, so, do you plan to be celibate for the rest of your life? She said, no, only for 2 more years. You see, after 5 years have gone by since the mastectomy, if no cancer recurs, then I will be able to have reconstructive breast surgery, and after that, I will begin to date. I thought, she seems to have it all planned out, but I wonder if life will go that way for her or not. About a year later, she came into my office and there was a smile on her face. She told me what had happened the previous week. She had gone to the opening at an art gallery, and she found herself admiring a number of paintings that were all by the same artist. The artist came over, introduced himself. His name was Paul, and he asked her if she had any questions about his work. They got to talking, the time flew by, and at the closing hour for the gallery opening, he invited her out for coffee, where their conversation continued. She was attracted by Paul's warmth and humor, and she thought that he was a perfect person for her to spend time with, because there was no chance of there being a romantic relationship between them, because he was such a different person from her. But as time went on, she found herself becoming more and more attracted to him. But she still thought they could just be friends. A week or so later, she came in to see me again. And again, she sat down in the chair and began to cry. She said, "It is over." So I thought, the cancer has come back. But that wasn't it. Paul had asked her to go away with him for a romantic weekend together. She said, "This means I have to tell him, and this means he will call off our relationship." I said, "Maybe he will respond differently than you think." And she said, "No, he's the kind of person for whom beauty is everything. He will be repulsed." She came back a few days later, and she said, "He still wants to be friends." Turned out he wanted to be more than friends, but she wouldn't have it. She couldn't bear the thought of a man seeing her body that way. He was so smitten with her that he agreed to wait for a year until she had her reconstructive surgery. When nearly a year was by, Ramona came back into my office. And she said she was radiant, and there was so much less tension in her body. I said, "You must be so excited because your surgery date is almost up." So she said, "I won't be having surgery." "What? Why not?" As way of answer, she took off her blouse, dropped it to the floor. She was wearing nothing underneath. She turned around. There was a tattoo which ran out of her Sesame star back to the bottom of ending at the small of her back. The tattoo was a wave of flowers. And at the very end, there was a little P.
Peter, I was so taken by the story, I forgot that I was the Toastmaster. Well done.